Hello everybody, my name is Suyash, you're watching Mind Body Spirit. Welcome to another episode of the Law of Attraction Success Stories series, the series in which I share inspiring Law of Attraction success stories with you, and these stories have been in fact sent by you in the first place. And the hope behind this series is that if you watch one video, at least one video of this series every day, your beliefs, your happiness, and your results with the law of attraction will totally transform and they will improve to a large extent. And as usual, the story that teaches us the most about the law of attraction, I have left it for the last, so I would totally recommend you to watch this video till the end, and let's get started. So this first story has been sent to me on Instagram, and in the end it contains a big revelation, sort of a suspense thing, so I have not given it a name. The story goes, "Hey Suyash, I wanted to tell you my success story because your videos with success stories are a beautiful idea and I love watching them." Well, thank you so much. I'm a student, so most of my time and mind is taken by university. In particular, there was this exam that really was a problem for me. It was an oral exam, and every time I sat in front of the professor, and she has written in the brackets that that was a very scary person for me. The professor was really scary. Every time I sat in front of the professor, I was so anxious and agitated that I could barely speak, even though I studied very hard. And so, of course, I failed. And again, in the bracket, she has written this happened 5 times. So, 5 times she failed because she just could not speak in front of that very scary professor. This became a real problem. I was very sad and discouraged. I felt like I was never going to overcome this. Then, in search for help, I discovered law of attraction. I was very skeptical, but I was desperate, and so I began this new thing. It was a life changer. Not only for law of attraction, but with everything that came with it, I started practicing gratitude, and that made me very happy. I started to meditate regularly. I already used to meditate, but never every day. And meditating every day made me realize that all this time I was telling myself that I could never overcome this and that I wouldn't be able to get my degree. And that's exactly what was happening. So I started to tell myself that I was successful and that I was smart and that I deserved passing this exam. I think this was the most important thing for me because it totally changed my mindset. I also visualized myself being calm and confident and passing the exam. I did this for many weeks. So, the day of the exam arrived, and when I was going to my university, I thought, what if everything goes perfect? What if the scary professor isn't there and there is another kinder one? The what if technique that I saw in your video, that is what I applied. So, what happens is that that scary professor goes away, and there's another one, and this is the first manifestation. That scary professor was gone, and there was a different professor taking that exam. Then I was called for my exam. I was quite calm and I managed to answer all the questions. And the exam went perfect. The professor was so kind. The best part is that when they told me my grade, it was the top one. I couldn't even believe it. I just wanted to pass the exam, but the universe also gave me the best grade I could get. Please keep me anonymous. You are doing a great work. Thanks. That's just a wonderful story. I really have to compliment you and congratulate you. You really did all the good things, What if technique, gratitude, visualization, everything you applied perfectly. And I'm just so happy for your manifestation. So let's move on to the next story now. And this has been sent by Tanuj, and I have named it No More Cues. I came to know about the law of attraction when my boss suggested a book about it to read. I wanted to try it, but not for a cup of coffee or something else like is usually suggested. I thought I will try it to get rid of queues. You see, in my line of work, I often have to visit banks and other government offices, so I inevitably have to spend a long time in queues almost every day. So this is something I thought I will solve using the law of attraction. I started thinking that everywhere I go, I get my work done quickly without having to stand in a queue. I felt grateful for places which had multiple counters, which allowed everyone to be served quickly. I used visualization also. Even though in the beginning I was not very good at it, I have now improved a lot thanks to your visualization video. For a few days, nothing really happened. But whenever I came out of an office where I had to stand in queue, I would just pretend that I didn't have to wait at all and thought, wow, how quickly did everything happen? So amazing. Now this is absolutely genius. My logic was that I had had bad times standing in queue, yes, but why make it even worse by attracting more such times. So I just replaced thoughts of standing in queue by thoughts of my work happening fast. So even if it has happened, it is not that something happens and so we attract it. But when we keep thinking about it and when we keep dwelling upon, oh, how bad I felt when I was standing in the queue, then we attract more times where we will be made to stand in a queue. And so if we can just pay no attention to bad things, unwanted, unfavorable things that happen to us, if we refuse to pay them any attention and in fact focus on the opposite, and even if we can fool our brain to some extent, we can refuse to believe in it and we can change the memory to a positive make believe imaginary memory, and that memory will be the one that we attract. And this is something absolutely genius that this person did. And then he goes on, one by one so many things happened. At places which had multiple counters, I happened to reach at such a time that almost always there would be one counter which was either vacant or just one person would be there. At another office, a person approached me and said that he had seen me there often, and we got to talking and became friends. He works there and just gave me his phone number and told me to call him when I went there, and he'll help me get the work done without having to stand in a queue. So now it takes no time whenever I go there. Wonderful. And then he goes on, the biggest change was that a government bank, which I visited most often, decided to double its number of counters. Such a change had not taken place in 10 years at that place. So by applying the law of attraction, I got rid of queues not just at one place but at so many different places. I definitely believe in the law of attraction now, and I am excited to try it for so many more things. Tanuj, that's a wonderful story, and I hope that it teaches my viewers something about the law of attraction, the point that you mentioned about not dwelling over what happened and replacing thoughts of what happened with thoughts of what we actually want to happen in a similar situation. Absolutely genius. Congratulations for your success, and thank you for sharing this story. So let's go on to the third story, the one that I mentioned in the beginning, and I have named it Gratitude is Magical. Hi Suyash, after I saw your videos about gratitude, I decided to use it. I started thinking of the things that I am grateful for. As you had predicted, I could not feel gratitude for many of those things, but I just felt like I should feel grateful for those things. So that's something that I had mentioned about gratitude, that when you first start to apply it, you may not really feel it. You may be so habitual of taking things for granted, as we all are in the beginning, that we may not be able to feel grateful. We may logically in our mind know that I should be feeling grateful for this, but the feeling sort of eludes us. So I kept thinking, wow, thank you for this warm and comfortable bed, and similarly for other things that I used to take for granted. Slowly, the feeling started emerging. I could sense that my thinking, or should I say feeling, was changing. For even small things, I was not just thinking gratitude anymore, I was also feeling it. I remember the other day I was at a restaurant and was in a hurry, so I requested the waitress to please hurry up my order. She was so nice and gave me food within a few minutes. I really felt an emotion for her that I hadn't felt in years probably. I felt so much love and gratitude towards her. That was proof to me that the way I responded to life was changing. I could really see that I was less irritated and more contented. This in itself was a huge manifestation. Like, aren't we manifesting things so that we can be happy? I manifested happiness directly. That's beautiful. But more happened soon. I had invested some money in the share market, and from time to time, my investment advisor called me to tell me if my portfolio has grown. This time, when he called, it was about a month since I had started practicing gratitude. This time, when he called, he told me that the value had grown at a rate that was twice the normal rate. I actually made $1,500 because of this. I was just so thrilled, and of course, I was so grateful. Excellent. I also noticed that my skin was becoming better. People started telling me that I had become more good looking. This was just a random thing that I used to sometimes think about, that what if I get better skin? And it just happened after I started practicing gratitude. More small things have also been happening, such as always being on time for meetings despite sometimes leaving from home late, always finding an Uber fast when I need it, things like that. I can feel myself becoming more and more grateful with every positive thing that is happening. Thank you so much for your videos. And I see videos of your success story series every day to keep myself even more positive. I hope you will share my story. Thanks. Well, thank you so much for sharing this story. It's an absolutely wonderful story. It teaches us something phenomenal. And let me share with you what exactly it teaches us. There is something peculiar about this particular story. And you know what it is? This person had no intention. He just started practicing gratitude without any intention. He did not intend to make 1500 extra dollars. He did not intend to get a clearer, better skin. He did not intend for all of these things. They just happened when he started to practice gratitude. And that is why in my video about gratitude and in several other of my videos I have said that if you are going to apply just one process, if you don't have time, if you don't want to put in a lot of effort, if you just want to do one thing with respect to the law of attraction, practice gratitude. Because my thinking is and my concept is that gratitude unlocks positivity, unlocks the good that is just waiting to come into your life, but for some reason it is not coming because you are not in a state of attracting it. Every other process that we have talked about, visualization, writing, vision board, all of that, everything begins with an intention. You have to intend. What do you want? When you begin with an intention, then through that process that intention comes to you. But gratitude helps every intention that you have, even those intentions that you may not be consciously aware about. Because when you are feeling grateful, when you are just feeling this gratitude, you are emitting this thought that good things keep on happening to me. That's why I am grateful. I keep attracting great things. This thought is inherent, even if it is subconscious. This thought is inherent when you are grateful. And so when you are grateful, you unlock things, you unlock the potential of good to take place and to be attracted in your life. And so I'm not saying that you should not practice all the other things. Do practice all of them, but if you can just couple them with gratitude, even though in the beginning maybe you will not feel that gratitude, because we are habitual of taking things for granted. But gradually that feeling will come and you will see that your law of attraction practice has become so much better. And also as this person said, even before you will attract things that will happen in your life, even before that you will attract happiness, and that in itself is a huge manifestation and a huge improvement in our lives, isn't it? And so that's all for this video. If you liked it, please hit the like button. Any comments or feedback, please leave in the comment section down below. Make sure you subscribe and also hit the bell icon to be notified about my future videos. Also, do share this video with your friends and family that are applying the law of attraction. This video will help them as well. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you soon in the next one. Bye-bye.